Hello students, not hello, namaste to all of you. So students, today I just want to discuss with you about the word namaste. Do you know what is the meaning of namaste? Namaste. Namaste means you are showing your gratitude. Means अगर हिंदी में कहें that you are giving a sort of respect to the person who is standing in front of you because you know him spiritually. For example, नमन करना, किसी को नमन करना मीन्स सामने वाले व्यक्ति को जिसमें आप वही क्वालिटीज़ देखते हो जो क्वालिटीज़ आपके अंदर है, जो स्पेसिफिक थिंग्स आप खुद अपने अंदर, जो इमॉर्टल कंसेप्ट आपने अपने अंदर देखा है, महसूस किया है, एग्जैक्ट थिंग यू आर फीलिंग इन द पर्सन हु इज स्टैंडिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. So this namaste word is not an ordinary word, and don't ever try to think that if you'll be saying namaste to someone, then you'll be considered a person who is having average intelligence. It is not like that. See, language is not a parameter to judge anyone's intellectual capabilities. So if we really want to judge someone's intellectual capability, then first and foremost what thing is required to comprehend is that what sort of idea he or she is giving. The more ideas the person is able to generate, the more intelligent he is. In philosophical books it is said that whatever you are seeing in this world, that is just because of an idea. Someone is having an idea, and everything is the production of this mind. Whatever we are having at present, that is the production of mind, and whatever going to be the reality in future, that is already existing in your mind. So this mind is a very comprehensive word, and this mind can change things if you are using it in a positive way. So let's try to understand the depth of the Indian philosophy, because many a time when I have seen that the youngsters are not having the exact view about the Indian philosophy, they don't know the common words which we are using in our day-to-day life. They don't know what namaste is. Namaste means you are knowing the person spiritually as well as intellectually. You are giving respect to the person not because of his physical appearance but because of his spiritual existence. And all of us are having a spiritual existence. That's why we are moving. Otherwise, no one can move even. So spiritual existence is a must. And spiritual existence, how it can be depicted when we are doing some good tasks. All are not having these qualities. Not exactly. These qualities can only be generated with the person who is trying to uplift it, who is trying to just draw out it. Not everyone is able to get these things in his mind, but somehow, as I told you, that we all are having these little bit of you can say sanskar, and spirituality is not related to any specific religion. We can't say that the Hindu religion is having some other spirituality, the Muslim religion is having some other spirituality, the Muslims are having some other spirituality, and the Christians are having some other spiritualities. Spirituality is same everywhere. But if we just talk about religions are different. And it is not bad if something is different, rather it is showing the versatility. It is just like that, what way you want to adopt. But ultimately you will be going towards self-realization. And self-realization is the ultimate concept introduced by idealism, the idealist philosophers. So today we are going to talk about idealism and how idealism is different from other schools of thought. See, whatever philosophical concept you are studying, whatever, either it is realism, naturalism, pragmatism, or existentialism, all these school of thoughts are influenced by the theory of idealism. without idealism, no theory can be existed. How? Let's talk about naturalism. So naturalism is a complete science. It does not believe in, you can say, the subtle body, the astral body, and the cosmic self. No, it just talk about five elements. It talk about matter, anything whatsoever you can try to understand with your five senses, that is reality. So the exact source of understanding the thing is their visual and hearing ability. Whatever their senses are showing to them, that is reality for them. In idealism, this is called pratyaksh. Something which is visible to you, that is pratyaksh. So you will be studying about pratyaksh even when you'll just try to comprehend about the idealist school of thought. So in idealism also we are having this naturalism school of thought. And if we just talk about pragmatism means what is having value, that is true, that is worthful. Things which are not having any value, that is of no use. So the philosophy of Gita, Karma Yoga philosophy, that is completely based on the pragmatism school of thought. You can't say that it is a theoretical concept. No, it is not a theoretical concept. Only the thing which you have to do is just to do your work rather than bothering about the result. No need to bother about it, just do your work. The more you will be bothering about the result, the more you will be influenced by it, and the less productivity it will be having. So for the idealism, for the Karma Yoga, they are specifically targeting the pragmatism. So pragmatism itself comes from idealism. And in the same way, if we talk about existentialism, that had come from subjective idealism. Vyaktivad, एक व्यक्ति विशेष, a specific person, what he or she think. So this is called subjective idealism. And one more thing I just want to let you know, that if you just studied about idealism in detail, if you just studied about aparavidya, paravidya. Aparavidya means the knowledge which is related to this physical world. Paravidya means the knowledge which is beyond the five senses. And the moment you just study about it, you will just come to know that all the isms have been borrowed from the idealism. And idealism is the father of all the isms. So if you studied about idealism, learned about idealism, sorry to say that. If you learned about idealism, then you have learned about all the isms. This is what I mean to say. Thank you very much.